enough for
Oh
his
yeah, he
tall
was
ass?
so fucking tall that they literally, like, every horse that he got on, his feet, and you can see in the horse that he's riding on this too that his feet are like almost to the ground.
So they had
It's
to
fucking
import
crazy.
a horse?
Yeah, they imported a horse for this shit.
From where?
Probably
fucking,
Siberia?
like Spain or some
Spain,
shit like
yeah.
that.
From
Like
like
a-
a fucking Clydesdale.
Yeah,
or
a
something,
giant
you know?
Clydesdale that they
Fucking
shaved.
Bigger than that.
Peter was pissed, dude.
It was a genetically altered horse just for him.
It
Mixed
was
with his own genes.
It was made for it was made for super glue.
Yeah, see?
Nay. I see what you did there.
All right.
Anyway.
I'm laughing at my own stupid joke over here. I
And
don't
at
know
that
why.
point,
That's awesome.
he's already slept with 3 women, too.
That's right.
He's like, hey, give me a bigger horse. I'm going to go have sex.
I'm going to go have sex for a minute, and I'll be back.
Bigger.
Yeah. No, that one don't work. I'm going to go have sex again. So now he's at 4 women so far.
A lot of horses.
Yes.
And he's been dead for 20 years?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, he's still going. Like you said, it's still keeping up.
Yeah, right.
Then you
We're
got
not even to 1990 yet.
No, not even. Not even. That was just the 80s.
Yeah.
Then you got Grace Jones. She was Zula, which
So she had a pretty prolific career even before this.
she was badass.
So she was like a model on like Elle and cover,
And
or
She was a
Vogue.
James Bond
Vogue
bad
and
girl
Elle.
too.
Absolutely.
Really?
She was in A View to a Kill with Roger Moore. She had played a vampire in the movie Vamp.
Ooh.
I don't know if
That
that
just seems
came
like
out
lazy
before or
writing.
after.
Yeah.
But before she was she was really big in the music scene.
Yeah.
She was signed with Island Records. She was like big in the disco Studio 54. She was like really popular there. And then moved on to like more of a punk new wave after like kind of in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I know one of the songs she did, like Tom Petty wrote the lyrics to.
Oh, really?
Which was
Hey,
kind
I'm
of
gonna write
interesting.
you a song, Grace. That was my Tom Petty.
I won't back down, okay?
I think it was called Breakdown.
Oh.
Like he wrote I think she redid it, but he wrote a verse for her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So kind of cool, kind of cool.
That's cool.
She's real tall and she's Jamaican American. And
Yes.
Go ahead
She's
and
real
give
tall.
she's
Yeah, she
real
has-
tall.
She has a very exotic look. And
Yeah,
she's,
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Distinctive look.
yeah.
Distinctive.
She-
Yeah.
in the original story, this was written to be a male, I read.
Yeah, me too. And then they didn't change it because, again, lazy. They got to a point where they're like, because they were gonna. The A is something for a male in that culture.
Oh, sure. But
and it should have been something else.
I think that's cool, though, that they can switch it up. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
And she was a badass. She trained for like 18 months on that shit
Yeah.
with the bow staff and her tail. You know.
She wanted to do, like, all of her own stunts, right?
Yeah. She did like 90% of her stunts. So did Wilt Chamberlain.
That's why you
Because
can
of
see
course
their
they're like athletes.
Yeah, that's why you can see their faces.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain.
And then of course we have Sarah Douglas, who
Sarah-
played Ursa in Superman
Yep.
2 and 1, I guess.
God, she was in.
Sort
She
of.
was in a lot of movies.
But she
back
was
then,
also
too.
in she was Pamela in V, The Final Battle. I
Yep.
don't know if you ever watched
What?
that. And Solar Babies.
Uh-oh, one of Brock's favorites.
Friend of Brock's
friend of
brain.
my shows. She was in a lot, and I was watching another movie the other day where she was like a, I don't know, a scientist in something. Oh, she was in fucking The Return of Swamp Thing, man.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was in
Oh.
The
That's
Return of
right,
Swamp Thing.
that's
I watched
right.
that the other day and was like, oh.
She also did some voice acting for Superman, the animated series, Iron Man, and Batman Beyond.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So,
And was she the
Wow.
voice on First Flight, too, on that GL movie? Carol Ferris? Didn't you say that?
yeah.
Was that a different actress?
Hold please.
She was on
No,
Falcon Crest.
that's the girl that plays the princess.
Oh, okay.
or the
Okay.
whatever.
There's a lot of connections to comic books and stuff.
Yeah,
for
There is.
people.
So if we want to jump into her, Olivia Jane DeBow,
Okay,
I think
there
is
you go.
her name.
This is her debut.
She was not really. She was.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that was before. That's
Sure.
probably
Yeah,
after
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Or it
I'm
probably
Daniel
was her.
Stern.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the sister that became the hippie and all that.
Yeah, Diablo.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
And,
I'm Fred Savage, and I'm Daniel Stern. Wonder Years.
Yes.
But yeah, so she was the sister on that. And then, man, her voice acting is.
Yeah, this
she
one
does
was
a
crazy.
lot. She does. I think you mentioned Star Sapphire. Did you
Yep,
say that
in
one?
Justice League
Justice
Doom.
League Doom,
Yeah.
and in the Justice League original series.
Yeah, in the animated series. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. Great
And
shit.
then Carol Ferris in
First Flight.
First
that's
Flight.
Yeah, that's cool.
She also played Black Widow in both the Ultimate Avenger movies.
Nice.
She
those are
played
cool.
Morgan Le Fay in the Justice League Unlimited. But here's the biggest piece about her. She was in one episode as Allison Tyler in the movie or in the TV show Simon and Simon.
Yes. There we go. There's our drop culture connection.
Somehow
connect
Simon
all of
and
our-
Simon keeps
Yeah.
everything together. That and Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles 2, the sticky
you can
goo
play-
holds
yeah.
us together.
6 degrees of separation just with our podcast with
Yeah,
one
right?
character.
No
That's
doubt.
crazy.
Garfunkel and Garfunkel.
I don't remember her character, but she was also in Wayne's World 2.
Oh yeah, I need to
remember
watch
writing that
it again.
down.
Yeah.
Smaller.
She played Betty
better.
Joe.
Yeah.
Are you saying like Wayne's World 2 or Wayne's World 2 also?
Electric
Wayne's
Boogaloo.
World to the Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Part 2. I like Part 2.
Yeah.
I like all the Wayne's World movies.
Are
I
you
watched
talking
them
about
yesterday.
Breaking, or are you talking? No.
Wayne's World. They're like, oh, look at this place they sent us.
We're in
Yeah.
But
Delaware.
It's clearly like
Yeah.
stand-ins.
Yeah, I'm in Delaware.
No, Delaware.
So, isn't it cool that the movie studio sent us all the way over to England?
Yeah.
No, and then you got Mako. Mako, that dude was like, he is another one of those 80s dudes that
For
you
sure.
see
Yeah.
in
Well,
everything.
he's still around in cool stuff. Like,
Mhm.
but I always remember of as Batman's the Joker's right hand man.
Oh, thinking of Malik's.
You're
character.
thinking,
Oh, sorry.
Malik. Mako is the wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mako, God, he did so many things. He was in so much. You really can't. I mean, he was even in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was a voice
I
in
know.
the
Oh, really?
2007 one.
Yep. And
Oh.
he was Splinter in the newer movies.
The
Mhm.
animated one, yeah.
Mhm.
No. Yeah.
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 He's been. What was that? Was that a cat?
What was
I don't got a
that?
cat. What the fuck is that?
List off what else did he do?
Oh my god.
He was in Bulletproof Monk. He was.
Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
Yeah.
RoboCop 3.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that one doesn't get enough credit.
For how shitty it is.
No, dude, have you ever played the game on like Super Nintendo or Sega?
Oh yeah, those are cool, but hey, come on,
Dude,
He was in Mako anyway too. He was on Testament that I've been watching here lately. Magnum PI,
oh yeah,
Yeah,
He did a
okay.
bunch of those like Magnum PI kind of shows. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
and then every probably Battle of Midway movie or some shit like that he
Yep.
was into. So he was in a lot of stuff. I mean, the dude worked forever. Worked from the 60s, 50s, all the way up. So
Yep.
I mean, he was always kind of like the Pat Morris time.
Sure.
for that genre of
Yeah.
style of movies.
Yeah, that's what I
And
mean.
then you were alluding to Tracy Walker.
Yeah, Tracy
Or
Walker.
Walter.
Walter.
He
Malik.
played Bob the Goon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but
He
he
almost-
also was in Repo Man.
Yeah, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the Miller. He was the
Was he the mechanic?
he
or
was
some
the
shit?
mechanic
Yeah.
that like basically figured it all out. Like
Yeah,
you know, I'm
yeah.
not going to.
He was cool, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I have that recorded. Don't ruin
Yeah.
that. I've
Yeah.
been waiting so
You
long.
need to watch that
Yeah,
movie. It's
it's
good.
from
Yeah.
'84, right? Or
Dude, it's
something.
an awesome movie.
We'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah, it's Alex.
Not for a Droppin' Deuces episode.
Yeah.
but
What's
just
the
a
director's
regular
name?
episode.
Alex something. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Alex Cox.
Yeah, Alex. Cox.
The one
Thank
guy
you.
that I want to mention the most is Finn Olthorson. Now, Finn Olthorson played at least 6 characters in this movie, and they all got killed. He was in the first one. He was fucking in Mallrats. He was the how do you say? He was the mall cop in Mallrats. He's-
LaFleur's?
Yeah, LaFleur's. He's like him and Schwarzenegger and Franco Columbo are really big friends. So they all like star in each one of their movies somehow.
Oh, okay.
Like Schwarzenegger always has Finn come in, and he was even in Gladiator. He was the one that they brought out of retirement.
Oh,
yeah.
Getting ready to knock him with the sock full of quarters.
Yes.
Biggity
No,
bam, smoke a blunt.
He's such a big personality too, but he just I bet you that his accent is probably the one thing that got in the way with a lot of his roles, so he didn't do a lot of talking and anything. And I swear to God, if you watch this movie again and you see how many times he dies in it, like so many times, just like Franco Columbo is a littler guy and he dies a lot too.
Okay.
I mean, he was also one of the Great Danes from the first one as well. So he was in so many different things, which is really awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then I guess Pat Roach was the Tathamon. Tathamon was a huge character in the comic books and
Really?
all of the lore for Cole the Conqueror, I think. Mainly Conan. He was his main adversary, kind of.
He's a bigger guy. He was like the guy in Indiana Jones that got kicked into the blades, right?
Was he that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
God, he's
Awesome.
been. Oh, you know who else he was? He was on Willow.
Willow.
He was the dude with
Willow.
the skull mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
bad
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I mean, he did a lot of good stuff. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Mhm.
all kinds of different stuff. Which his character in this one is pretty badass, and we'll talk about that.
But are you saying that that character should have been given a bigger role because
Probably.
of its
Yeah.
importance? In
Well,
the,
I'm sure a lot of that had to do with them rewriting the
Right.
original.
Of the lore of the Hyborian age.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Now, anybody else we want to talk about on that part? of it?
No, I think we need to kick into this movie.
Cool, because I love Conan. I always have loved Conan. I grew up. I mean, my dad was a service worker, so he would always he would always take me with him on service calls for typewriters.
Okay.
And we would
For
every once
typewriters,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, every once in a while
He was a
would-
rotary phone mechanic.
he would always buy me like cartoons magazines or
Okay,
Mad
yeah,
magazines
yeah.
or the Conan magazines that were out when I was a kid.
Nice.
Sweet.
And he always
Like
had
the big ones.
yeah, and he always had like a red pin on him. So I would always color in the blood with the red pin,
Sweet.
and all the old Conan stuff. So I love Frank Fragetta's art style, and that to me
yes.
is a Conan. It goes hand in hand together.
Yeah, they go. They're very
Yes.
synonymous. When you think of Conan, sometimes it always invokes that Frank Frazetta
Yes,
artwork.
yeah. And
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
I mean, the guy that created Conan, of course, Robert E. Howard, started all of this stuff back in the 30s and created this huge and giant just world that you can just you have so much that's in it. And then Conan's stories are all over the place with all the video games and the movies and the comic books and everything like that.
So
There's so much with it.
I really wanted to play the Conan game,
Which one?
the last one, the Xbox
Oh,
One
yeah,
one,
I did
and I
too.
bought it, like, I don't know, used or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I'm going to check it out. And I sat down to play it, and I didn't have very long to figure it out. And my guy just kept dying,
Oh,
like,
Really?
because the heat, you have to drink water and all that,
Oh.
and like I
dang,
didn't
that's
know
involved.
what I was supposed to be doing. I truncated beginning, you know what I mean?
I might
Yeah.
have to
So-
check that out. I played the one on Xbox 360 from
Yeah, I
like
have that
10
one.
years ago or
Yeah.
something. It's just a runaround slasher kind of thing.
Yeah, you know who did the voice for that? That was Hellboy, Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I'll cleave your neck to the skull or some shit like
I
that.
could be wrong. Isn't there a new one coming out that's going to be like super?
Possibly
Maybe.
because
I
they
don't know.
really
I
brought
don't-
him back.
I
They
know
brought
there
Conan
was
back.
a PC version of Skyrim had a mod that was the
Uh-huh.
whole Hyborian age where it was kind of like Conan.
That's sweet.
That's so
So
cool.
That's cool.
They like you just were saying, Brock. They brought Conan recently back into the Marvel continuity. Like even he's in Savage Avengers and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
He's kind of back because they got the rights back.
Yeah.
So we might see a lot more Conan in the future. But let's get into the movie. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
Start out with the oranges.
yes,
It's the orangest screen you've ever seen
in the largest running of the fucking horses.
for all my
Dun,
life
dun, dun.
with that monologue
Yes.
about Sumerians.
Yes.
And I don't know the whole monologue. I just know that it ends with the days of high adventure.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, Mako always does a good job with the voiceover on
Right.
both of the movies. It was really awesome. But then they got those long tracking shots of the fucking dudes on the horses.
Yeah, for all my life.
Yeah.
All my life, you watch horses and close up of horse feet,
Yeah. Frothing at the
hooves,
mouth,
if you will.
Hooves. And Wilt Chamberlain slept with 4 more people by this time.
Yes.
And then
It's like, y'all, I gotta take a break. I broke my dick.
he
Keep
never broke it.
keep listening for the countdown of how many women that he sleeps with through this movie.
Send us an email if you can add it all up. And so it starts off with that part of it, and they're going through the desert or whatever, pretty much Mexico. And I think that's where they filmed it.
But it was the color was real cool.
Yeah, oh
at the
yeah, no.
beginning.
That cinematography.
I was
is
like, wow,
awesome in
this
it.
is maybe not as bad as I remembered, and then the rest of the movie started.
Yeah, and then they get into the part where he's praying.
Yeah.
Now you think that this is the same altar from the first one, but it's not.
It's not, definitely not.
Because the first one was on top of a mountain that the wind blew and they couldn't burn, but Conan burned it anyway, right?
Right.
So he's sitting there and he's basically kind of praying to Crom or whatnot about his dead queen.
Yeah, we find that out a little bit later.
Oh yeah, he loved her for
Right.
yeah.
'Cause
and I mean, that's it.
as we approach him, he's just got his sword buried, praying.
And-
But that's when these riders
Yeah, they all approach.
approach him, from all these crevices around.
Yes.
But
He's
you
surrounded.
can apparently get horses down into this pit.
Yeah, you would think. You would think Conan would be badass enough to hear them coming like 3 miles away.